This is Clara Valdez, 20-year-old fitness influencer. At a glance, her account appears to challenge the representation of individuals with Down syndrome. Her reels started to gain traction pretty quickly, gaining 7k followers in her first 2 weeks on Instagram. It looked like social media had found its next viral star. But if this is Clara, then who is this? Anything more than a brief glance and it becomes clear that something isn't right. Like her having a different phone in almost every shot. It all unraveled thanks to GoobU2, a fitness account known for exposing scammers. He noticed something was off with Clara's content, and after looking behind the curtain, he found that Clara had stolen videos from another fitness influencer who goes by Sweat with Van and passed them off as her own. The account owner knew the responses that these videos would get.
You are gorgeous. You are a very beautiful young lady. Keep it up. Honey, you are so gorgeous. Who cares what people say about you? You keep doing what you are doing. Keep training hard. Well done.
Given how society at large treats people with Down syndrome, you can take some of these as well-meaning, supportive messages. But for every one earnestly gullible fan, there are at least 10 horny dudes lurking in the shadows. And that is who Clara was trying to appeal to. In a dystopian twist, she was apparently using this account as a sales funnel for her OnlyFans. I can't confirm that personally, but that's probably because I found her account after she was exposed, and she probably wanted to keep her OnlyFans from getting mass reported and taken down. What I did find was a funnel to a Telegram channel, and if you know anything about Telegram, it's a fucking hellscape. What's fucked up is that even after being exposed, Instagram haven't stepped in. She's just gonna keep getting away with it. So if you're keeping score, we're hitting sexual exploitation, plagiarism, and digital blackface. Good job, Clara. That being said, I think it's safe to say that Clara doesn't even exist. But for the sake of context, we'll still call them Clara. Once Clara was called out, Goob's followers descended on the account.
Where's the Goob squad? There are more posts to attack. What the fuck is wrong with you? AODS isn't some kind of fetish you can market. That's nasty work trying to fake it. Rot in hell.
Some were just problematic in their own way. People were furious, and rightly so, because this isn't just some random committing victimless grift. This actively harms people. Aside from the obvious ethical deficits, it has the potential to really affect how people with Down syndrome are viewed by themselves, others, and how they are treated by society at large. Also, the account's mere existence is taking up space meant for actual disabled creators. The internet barely gives visibility to real people who are disability influencers. Platforms prioritize virality over authenticity. And when fakes like Clara take center stage, they actively drown out the voices of those that truly live that experience. Imagine someone who has Down syndrome seeing Clara's fitness content and feeling inspired, only to later find out that it was all a lie. It can leave people with feelings of confusion, anxiety, or hopelessness. If the person behind this account actually has Down syndrome, then just please stop, because what you're doing is wrong. But if they don't, then they are exploiting both the representation and the struggles of people with Down syndrome, taking all of the benefits without facing any of the hardships. I gotta admit, from a very subjective standpoint, I would struggle to believe that an actual person with Down syndrome is behind this account. It seems that the person wanted to reap all the rewards without having to face any of the hardships. They didn't grow up being bullied in school the way people with Down syndrome do. They never faced medical discrimination or struggled to find employment the way people with Down syndrome do. They never had people dismiss their health concerns the way people with Down syndrome do. They never had to fight for accessibility, for equal treatment, or for people to simply respect them as a person or respect their agency the way people with Down syndrome do. And let's be clear, there's absolutely nothing wrong with content creators with disabilities being on OnlyFans. In fact, you're only one reel away from seeing there are many on the platform, all of them creating their own authentic viral moments. But it's on their own terms, embracing their sensuality, making connections, finding empowerment, all in their own way. For some it's about self-expression, for others it's a way to reclaim their bodies, to feel seen, to feel desired, and no doubt for some it's just about the cash. You can argue some of these creators do sexualize being people with disabilities, but ultimately that's their personal choice. It becomes oppressive when they're forced into that frame by outsiders, because in reality all characteristics are sexualized in the industry. Hair color, race, height, you name it. It's not black and white. But the key factor is consent. It's one thing to choose to be sexualized, and it's another to have that imposed on you by others. Unfortunately, this isn't the first time someone faked being a person with a disability for gain. Remember Gypsy Rose Blanchard? Her mother forced her to fake being a person with disabilities for years to get donations, free housing, and vacations. Or how about Belle Gibson, the Australian influencer? She pretended to be terminally ill and made a fortune from book sales and selling snake oil to some very sick people. There are likely influencers faking illness for engagement right now. Scamming like this isn't new, but it feels like we're at a bit of a tipping point. We don't know who owns the account because they won't share their face, or anyone's actual face for that matter, but I'll try and have empathy because maybe they're going through something. Maybe they're dealing with their own struggles, maybe they've had a rough past, or maybe they're caught up in whatever level of capitalism we're in now. But here's the deal, if you're struggling, go to therapy, get a tattoo, dye your hair, normal things people do when they're going through shit. And if you want to make money online, start a cooking channel or something. I'm a factory worker in my 30s having a go at YouTube, and if I'm deluded enough to think I can do it legitimately, you can be too. I've watched this account for a couple of days and it seems the grift is alive and well. She's now started a backup account with much raunchier content and seems to have a tattoo, which I'm sure will disappear in the next post or two. So if you've kept up, we have a funnel to a second account with another funnel to a Telegram, even though the first account had the same link to a Telegram. So it's kind of a very Black Mirror-esque Ouroboros. On the second account, however, there are no images stolen from Vanessa, clearly in an attempt at unlimited respawns. The Telegram channel currently has almost 600 subs, and I'm not making an account to go in and have a look under the hood because I have seen all I've wanted to see. So for now, the story is done. And to all my many one subscriber, firstly, thanks for subscribing. You are a real one. Secondly, I ask that you don't harass the person behind this account because firstly, it's clear they don't give a f***. But if you do come across it, report it as impersonating Sweat with Van and get everyone else you know to do the same. It's important that we report this because they're not only stealing images from adult content creators, but also they're stealing fitness influencers' pictures and sexualizing them in ways that totally distort their original context. This kind of exploitation harms both groups of people because it's clearly misrepresenting their content and violating their consent. If anyone watching this is interested in following some legit family-friendly content creators with disabilities, their handles will be in the description.
Disability and dwarfism all qualify for the position of a controller of airplanes.
Hey, Herman, isn't that military helicopter very close to that plane?
I don't know. I'll go and check. No, it looks good.
And if you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching and stay safe out there. Catch you on the next one.